I'm very happy to have with us a person with a diverse set of experience and educational interests, if I may call that. We have with us Rajeev Talwar. Let's listen to him. Over to you.
Thank you, Subodhji. Thank you for having me on Zoom and allowing me to speak about probably what I think is for me or for the world. You know, so by profession, I am a chartered accountant, and it's been about close to now 27 odd years in this field, and the journey has been quite good, quite knowledgeable, and across diversity, across people, so many new things that have been learned in this journey, and day in day out learning more things. In fact, while we were offline, we were discussing, what is the kind of format that we might be having on this call. So your point on that nobody is here to award a Bharat Ratna or a Nobel Prize, that rings a bell. So in fact, you're right, because uh, it takes a while for you to speak about yourself, because if you have a certain set of questions, probably it's easier to answer. So coming to my point on what have I learned, it's a long journey, and many things have been learned. Sometimes the soft way, sometimes the hard way. But what I've learned is that knowledge pays in the long run, and it depends on how you assimilate knowledge. And of course, the right ones, which you have to apply your own common sense to arrive at, and depending more on good books and good teachers rather than the new model of going online and searching for your answers, which probably will have some backing of some AI with some kind of a model attached to it. I would use the word bias to it. So and good that you started a new format wherein people in the 40 plus range of hours are given an opportunity to talk the way we feel like talking and whatever we feel like talking. So knowledge has been one part. Then the long journey has been very, very, very different in the sense that I started my journey to be a part of the armed forces, and then down the line to becoming a chartered accountant, and then the last mile of doing my degree in law. So it has been a long one, and as my father always says, that as time is on your side, study as much as you can, learn as much as you want, because at the end of the day, knowledge will pay you. That's your royalty.
Okay.
Right. So no matter how much you work, but the knowledge that you gain will always be by your side. So, which I realize, when I interact with people on the social media for various reasons on diverse subjects and diverse topics, I somehow don't feel that I'm a little out of it. Probably because of the reason that it's my innate habit to be reading a lot, understanding a lot, and be involved in the 360-degree model, as I call it,
Mhm.
you know, of getting into some detail about the subjects. So that at least when, people are talking and you are interacting with them, it should not be felt that either you are out of place or they are out of place. So that plays a little bit of advantage in terms of your interaction, and then helps you garner more knowledge. It is not necessary, rather it is not a thumb rule that anybody is an expert. I don't claim to be an expert for any reason, because every day we are all learning. maybe from you, maybe from somebody else. I may not be that tech savvy, but yes, I will be a little tech savvy. I may not be a good orator, but yet I will be able to speak something about myself or probably somebody else. You know, so it's been a long, different journey where I have my initiatives which I have taken over these years, doing something or the other into the newer part of the world, because uh, running the same path day in, day out becomes a little boring. In fact, if you are doing a morning walk of a particular area, you will always like to digress into a different walkway, just trying to be a little different from your humdrum going round and round or in the circles. So that way, it's always good to pursue and discover new lands, discover new arenas, discover new processes, discover new businesses. Because as I said, everything is a learning point. So once you are on a new discovery to a new road, you will always learn something new. You will come across hurdles, you will come across issues, but then slowly and slowly the solutions will also start appearing. You may have a red light walking in, or a puddle walking in, or maybe a bad road coming in, but then down the line you will always be on a smoother path. There will be a smooth highway as we go along the road.
So could you share with us an example of one or two new things that you have gone through or learned or experienced?
See, every day, as I said, every day is a learning this thing. So apart from my humdum practice, I dealt my hand into starting an e-commerce business of related to pets. So where people would be able to buy products and goods and services related to their loved ones. That was a new initiative which I took. Then I've been part of a lot of think tanks and CFO circles for my professional what do you call that, competencies, right? So people look up to for support services for their financial needs. So that brings me into diverse companies, diverse people, diverse answers, diverse questions, which you know gives me a kick. Oh, this was left. This is some arena where probably I missed out. I have to go back to the scratch board and think aloud again, because probably about 15 or 15 odd years back, the things were very normal, a
Yeah,
morning and an evening and probably a good night.
yeah.
But today, with every single step, technology is changing, thoughts are changing, ideas are changing, new things are coming up. So, you have to be upskill about that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this upskill brings me to that point, that with the advent of the startup world, the generation of the 20s and the 30s have taken a fourth seat uh, from the 40s and the 50s, and with the newer ideas, newer way of functioning, speedier thought processes, of course, on the lower side, on the experience side. But now this gives a huge opportunity for the 40 plus people to sit back and start upskilling, because there
Mm-hmm.
where they gain the most is the experience part.
Yeah.
That experience coupled with the new age technology and the new age thought process will work like a AI tool,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you put an answer question to it, it will throw back the entire gist of it. So that's the area where people have to go back to the scratch board and start thinking and start aligning their processes and their thoughts to the new age technologies and the new age thinking. That gives a lot of
mm,
edge on the experience side. And coming to the initiatives, so one was that, and then I'm leading, as I told you, that a lot of financial practices. And these days, we are working on the most new topic called the climate footprint or the carbon footprint.
yes.
You know, everybody is coughing around with thermometers in their mouth, right? And so, and everybody cursing this city is more polluted, this country is more polluted.
Yeah,
Those guys are not doing their bit and we are
yeah,
not doing our bit. In fact, the latest one, Bangalore going without water, which is
yeah,
really scary, you
yeah.
know. And it could be a story probably down the road for many more cities in the country,
Mm,
or probably the world,
mm,
right? And so it's a big time to sit back, think how we are managing our processes, how we are managing our businesses, how we are managing our human content to it, right? And post COVID, uh, good, bad, or ugly, people got a jolt that things are very transitory in nature.
yes,
Nobody's here for permanence,
yes,
right? So that 1 year or probably 2 years, the entire humanity set back and started rejiggling their entire lifespan ahead of the road,
yes,
right? And climate is one of them. So, they've also realized that over those so many years, whatever way each country damaged the environment in whatever form it may be, good, bad, or ugly, the generations ahead have to pay for it in
yeah,
some form, right? And diseases, I would say, would be one element of that as well. You know, so like for example, small different kind of viruses or flus are just reappearing out of the blue, hitting the healthiest part of the people. You know, and things are not that very same as you used to be probably 20 years before this. You know, so things are changing, and as we go along the road and see things, uh, you will have to be genuine about it, and start rethinking how you can manage all these new changes into your lifestyle, how you can reskill yourself, how you can continue to be relevant to the world, you know, because that is very important. As we say, in Hindi, that chalti ka naam gadi,
yeah,
so the 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 more you walk, the more you remain healthy, the more you remain active,
yeah,
you know, because God has made this machine so intelligent that unless and until every part of it is being worked upon, this intelligent piece called brain will stop functioning, you know. And in fact, I was amazed. Long back, I was reading some journal wherein I read that the one of the largest country in the world was investing a lot of money into billions to recreate a model out of the brain,
mm,
which they have still not been able to do so.
yeah,
We've created an artificial heart or a lung or a valve or anything of that sort, but we have yet to create a artificial brain, because
no,
probably the Lord has left some elements to him.
yeah,
As we say that the guru out of 10 will give you 9 answers, but one, that master stroke, he will always keep with himself.
right, right, right,
Right. So, that is how things have come up, and that is how the life has come up with its own set of good, bad, ugly scenarios, chugging along slowly and slowly. as people come along, it's my innate nature, to be uh, upfront and frank for most of the things that appear in life. you know it's better to give that perspective, looking at both the sides. Of course, not the one side of the coin, better to look at both the sides and then probably say something. And the best part is, keep your mouth shut and keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
That way you learn the most of the things which you really want to learn in your life,
Yeah. There's
right?
a second part to that statement. Otherwise, people will find out that you are a fool.
Yeah, it can be an FOOL or it can be another fool as well. You never know. So that is agreeable.
Yeah.
But so that gives you an immense opportunity to
Yeah.
understand diverse people, you
Okay.
know, and
But
and
I want to focus on what I read on LinkedIn in your own profile on two things. One, that you were involved in a non-profit organization or you created it. And the other is that at a late age you took up a law degree. So, you are obviously successful. Why do you need a law degree? And of course, we understand that many people want to give back. But what was the circumstances for you? So I think at least I would be interested in hearing you on those two.
see, I'll take the last one first, which is the law degree. Actually, in the COVID time, you remember everybody was holed up in the house,
Yes,
and most of the things were halted across the world, and
right.
only your computer were
Yeah,
the true things which were working the whole day. You
yeah,
know, and ample amount of time on hand to probably look into some more arenas. So that set me thinking, because I was looking at doing something more in terms of my study. As I said, no, my father always pushes me to that limit, that study the most, as much as you can. you know and in my long career, it was already close to 70-80% of the legality part being dealt in my normal professional career.
yeah,
So it was just a stamp of approval which probably led me to that,
yeah,
right? So I said that when I have learned so much,
yeah.
why not to have it a formalized way of having a degree on my
Right,
belt,
right.
right? So that is where it led me to start my law. And in fact, I have another degree which is MBA. I have another degree
Yes.
which is CPA.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying, that you have you are a collector of degrees.
you can say, yes, you can say that. So if I put it on the wall, a few days back, I was thinking, if I pull out all my certificates and all my degree, probably my offices, two walls will be all filled up. So
Yeah,
and I sit back and realize that, did I study that much? Did I actually gain so much of this thing? But yes, you sometimes sit back and wonder, okay, boss, you actually did so.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I still realize that it's been almost 26 plus years in the profession, and it still feels that, oh, the other day was the last one when I got my degree, you
Yeah,
know. I
yeah.
I stepped into the profession of chartered accountancy.
So how was the
So,
online experience for law? I mean, you were not an online person, you were born offline. So, like me, I was born offline. There
no,
was no.
law degree was not online. It was an offline. It was a university degree.
Oh, in Delhi.
Yeah, yeah, in Delhi. It is
Oh,
through a college itself. Now you can't do a online course in law.
okay. So you
So those
actually,
are
how
all,
could you go there in COVID times?
no, not COVID times. I took an admission post-COVID.
I see. Okay. So
So
how did you find the time to do it, to go to college when you were busy with your work?
see, you have to find time. It was a Saturday kind of a class, for the people to go and do it. and the rest of them were as per your convenience. You could go in the morning or in the evening and do it. So that way. So it was a flexible way to do so. It was not that cumbersome, but ठीक है, मतलब it was a nice going back to the university model.
Hmm.
So, and exams were again, in the normal humdrum way of going and giving your exams.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they used to be conducted early in the morning, so it was not an issue. So 7 o'clock the exam starts, and by 10, 11 you are free, and then you
yeah.
can go back to your normal functioning.
All right, wonderful.
And as
Let's
for the
turn to
NGO
your,
part,
yeah, your
yeah,
non-profit.
yeah. So for the NGO part, that is my own homegrown NGO, where I thought of an idea that, enough has already happened in life. And now, as I said, COVID was a time where everybody sat back and, realized their past with the present, so that brought me up that, it's time to give back to the society. So start doing something on that ground, you know. So that is how I created my own NGO to look into, probably children being studied in good schools, uniforms, things like these, normal things for the underprivileged children and all that thing. So nothing too great about it as of now, but yes, in a way, small things happening for some reason or the other.
So how many children?
It
Hundreds,
depends.
thousands, how many? I mean, I
Oh,
just,
no, no, it's not. It's about 100 students, not
okay.
more than.
How do you find them?
It's a very local, communitized way of doing things, you know. So 10, 20, 30 people looking for some books or something like that. So you get them and, put them on charge for that. That is all. Nothing more than that.
No, it's very important that, I mean, now I'm preaching as an economist. Okay. Please give
Mhm.
me a minute to preach.
Yeah,
I'm itching to preach.
yeah.
It's very, very important that people like you do this, because there is no way that the government can do much more than what it is doing now. And I don't mean any particular political party or union government or state government. I mean government in a broad sense, any party, any state, any time. They cannot do much more. And we see that. I mean, I wrote a book 2.5 years ago, India 2047, and that one of the messages there is that without the help of people who have benefited from the 1991 liberalization and the
Mhm.
economy has boomed for them, unless they put in their time and effort, our young children will not be able to do what they're capable of doing because they don't have the facilities. We have lousy schools, we don't have enough scholarships, we don't have this, we don't, and we write reports. You read Pratham's report, and it is makes you sad that the average student in seventh grade cannot do a second grade mathematics problem. Is there? So, and they don't have, of course, we have sterling examples of midday lunches and all, but you need the uniform to be a part of the school, and the parents don't have the money, so they can't put their children. And then how do we expect that these children will become productive when they are 22? Hey, get a job, work hard. I say, bloody hell, you didn't teach me anything because I couldn't go to a good school. So it's very, very important that private individuals take the initiative, and localized is fine. Just do for a few people. So let me stop preaching. It's not my show. So
No, no.
let me
See,
say
you
it's
have
very
a
good.
Yeah, no, no, no. You have a very, very valid point, but I have a point on that. See, the government has, irrespective of the state, has given immense focus towards education, especially. And a lot many things are being done on the education side. The problem is the beneficiary side. People are not wanting either to go themselves, or people like me and you are not giving them the right path to go and take it. Because at the end of the day, it's mine and yours taxpayers money which is being spent. So if they don't utilize it, it is going down the drain for no reason. Government is buying uniforms, government is buying books, government is giving you a midday meal, as you said. Government is giving you a certain amount of allowance to take care of your shoes or your socks or whatever it is. So if I'm not utilizing it, it is just going as unspent,
Yes.
probably in next year's budget. you know so it's our all of our kind of a duty to enlarge that vision to all the other people, that look, boss, government is giving you, take it, it is for you and for your betterment. you know
And our
and
betterment, because they'll be more productive in the future.
absolutely, absolutely. But again, as you said, no, the world has changed. So what is happening is, uh, what is in the other person's plate, how is the other person progressing, is more important than looking into your own plate and into your own progress.
Yeah.
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 So my probably big car outside the house would be more fancy to people than knowing that it took me 27 years to reach that stage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that is very important. So that is the point where education comes in, that you have to learn from the struggles or the path which that person took to reach that level.
Yeah.
So
Good.
understand that,
Yeah.
take it into your stride, and then move the road.
Okay. Very good. What else do you want to talk about?
I think enough. What more do you want to learn? It
No,
all depends.
I,
I think, on social subjects, on social topics, or giving gyan, it's like day in, day out. So that is what I'm saying. No, when I interact with people on social media and other places, it sometimes gives me a hit back that some very commonality points and common thinking is missing in the intellect today.
let's have
It
one
you
such
call it,
example. You say many
sorry,
are missing. Let's have one example.
anything like a climate change,
Yeah.
probably, for example, with a very skewed knowledge that only a 15-year-old car would probably pollute the entire environment. There are many more elements attached to it. It is the disposal of plastics. It is the disposal of water. It is the throwing away of waste. It is the plantations. It is the variety of plantation which also matters. In fact, certain scientists have come up with a study that what is the right kind of trees or plantations to be done to keep the environment intact. Certain varieties are not good. Some
Yeah.
some deplete the air, or some deplete the water as well. You know. So that knowledge is very important. So that will only come once you start reading the right books with the right set of people
Mm-hmm.
in tow. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because what has happened is today social media and online is the guru. So what
Yeah.
you read, you imbibe and you start implementing it.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest fallacy in today's world, and that is what is leading to the gap between the knowledge versus the incorrect knowledge, and which is very important to get addressed now. As you said, many people are failing in maths, many people are failing in science, many people are failing in other subjects for whatever reason. That educational advantage which our country had is slowly and slowly going away.
Mm-hmm.
We were a bookish country. I agree to that,
Yeah.
but bookish part had its own relevance
Yes.
to a greater extent.
Okay.
Right. So that is now slowly and slowly going away with the advent of social media and online study, and with the advent of you know rather saying, what would I say? Do as you like,
Yeah.
do your passions.
Yeah.
it is good to pursue passion, but at the same time, the element of finance too has to be looked into.
Yeah.
Will it pay you in the long run? Will it sustain you in the long run? Good, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Sometimes some passions are good to be practicing as a hobby rather than taking it up as a profession or as a breadwinning proposition.
Yeah. Okay.
So things have changed, and I hope the country progresses good. And of course, we are the next writing on the wall for sure, and we are going to grow big for sure, because the next largest consumer base anywhere in the country in the world is our country.
Okay.
Be it the younger generation, be it the 40 plus or the 50 plus, we're going to go great for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So people should gear up for that, and rest is all history. Let's see.
Okay. All right. Good. So shall we end it here today? Or do you want to add something more?
I think good enough.
All right.
Lot of
Fine.
time. Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's end it here. I'll be back with another young person or an expert. And in the meantime, thank you, Mr. Talwar. It was a pleasure to listen to you. And I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you
sir.
are here. So bye, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.